Heard that. What's going on, everybody? This is Tim Hurd, and you are listening to Tall Talk, episode 20. I am in Toronto right now, and I'm with, once again, my buddy Trent. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for welcoming me back on this thing. After our last one, I was scared.
You were a little scared.
I would not be invited back.
No, I thought you did good.
Cost you that Tim Hortons sponsorship and...
Oh, you know, Tim Hortons, they probably have a lot more other sponsors to take care of anyways. But the little background noise, we got a fan going because it is extremely hot here.
It's way too hot here.
We had to turn off the AC because it's a little loud, but all you hear is... But no, we're here in Toronto and in the Trent's apartment, and we're going to crack open a beer. What do we got today?
We got the Amsterdam Brewery Crusader All-Day Pale Ale.
Is it the Crusader, just the Cruiser?
Cruiser? Oh, shit, I can't read. I've been saying a Crusader my entire time.
It's just the Cruiser. They're all about bikes at the Amsterdam.
They had a cross on it, so I was just thinking it was Crusader.
4.9% alcohol. And
sorry, Amsterdam.
You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They have their own website, amsterdambeer.com, and they got 3 different locations. They got a brew house, a brewery, and a barrel house. Oh, geez. Now open. Okay.
I think it's the one on Lee side now.
What's that? Sorry?
I think the barrel house is the one on Lee side.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that new one there. Maybe check that out afterwards.
We can.
Down the street.
I'm a little hungry, but you want to crack these open?
Crack it open.
All right, cheers,
buddy.
man.
Welcome back to the Toronto.
Yeah.
Also, congrats to you. Big moves.
Yeah, big moves happened this week. I finally finished my job. Done with that. Last time I was here was May 2-4.
May 2-4.
And I was still working in the tunnel systems.
We had to keep it under wraps that you were making the moves. It was top secret.
Yeah, I told everybody 5 weeks ago. I gave them a month, and they got a replacement and everything. And everyone there, I don't know. It was a good breakup, I guess. And
did burn any bridges?
No.
Did it collapse a tunnel? Break a laser on your way out?
No. Those things are expensive. And yeah. But yeah, what about you? What's going on with your life lately?
Pretty much, busy with work. Even though it's summer, which is traditionally a slower time in real estate.
Okay.
Dealing with a lot of condos. Condo market has still been hot, so dealing with that. Playing ultimate frisbee on Wednesday nights.
That's a hell of a sport, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah, it's quite the workout. It's a lot of sprinting and
you're running the entire time.
Yeah, that's
except for breaks.
I haven't played since high school. I don't think I would do that good.
I'm in better shape this year than I was last year.
You didn't play last year.
I played last year. Last year was the first time for me going back to doing like sports. Like I missed playing sports, so I joined the ultimate for the Toronto Sports and Social Club. And thinking, okay, this will be fun. Like I give it a shot. My God, was I not the athlete I thought I was in high school? Are they
pretty like solid frisbee players?
Like I joined the rec league, so from an actual like ultimate skill and stuff like that, when I got in better shape, I was one of the better, like probably better on my team, and then each game probably the top 2 or 3 players. But after that first game last year, I laid down in bed at night. Everything hurt. Muscles I like didn't know hurt. Like every feet, legs, arms, shoulders. It felt like I was in like I'd been playing rugby, like but taking no hits whatsoever. But it's even if you go to the gym and stuff like that, the different muscles you use, you actually have to like go like run around and jump and catch and cut and stuff like that. It's just hits you in different ways. So this year I was a little bit better of shape, and
it's kind of like football, isn't it? Like you have to go over, like it's like a touchdown. You have to cross a line.
Yeah. So when explaining Ultimate to people that have never played it or stuff like that, it's the league I played is like if you played like when I played in high school, it was 7-on-7, and you played the length of a soccer field.
That's a lot of running.
So it was like exactly one half. You played to the middle of the field in the width, and then the full length. Now we're playing. I don't know what it is. It's not a full, probably like a third of a field. It's 5-on-5, but yeah, it's you got a touchdown in the end zone. I guess just called a point, or rugby's a try, touchdown football.
So it's not
you just score a point at 1 point per, and then it's kind of like basketball when you're covering man to man. So combine soccer, basketball, and football kind of together.
Is there because you got when you catch it, you can't run with the
no, yeah, you got to catch it and then kind of
You don't have a time limit?
If a guy gets to you, it's like they can start counting like 10 seconds.
Oh.
And they just get rid of it within that time period.
So you got some time to figure out your.
When you play rec, some people have never played before and they forget to count. So you just have all the time in the world.
I'm a little sore today. My dad put me to work at the cottage yesterday. That was brutal.
Chopping lumber? What were you doing up there?
Oh, he got the chainsaw going. We cut a bunch of trees down, and we got a bunch of firewood, and waiting for the fire ban to get lifted so we can burn it all. And it was. We built a staircase.
Oh,
too.
There you go.
Yeah, it was.
I feel
hot,
like
man.
I feel like your dad's the type of guy who goes to the cottage, just has to find something to build or fix every time.
Working all the time. My mom was out there helping us out too, and we were just like go, and ended up not leaving the cottage until 10 o'clock at night.
You just go up for the day or just?
Yeah, we got there at it's only a half hour from Aurelia.
That's true.
Yeah, so actually it's on the side of the 400. You can see it when you're on your way to Sudbury or Parry Sound
really?
or something. Yeah. But yeah,
still waiting for the invite to the cottage, just.
You gotta talk to my parents about that. It's not mine. But we were talking about sports. But speaking of sports, last time I was here, there was playoffs and stuff for NHL and NBA, and those are all over.
Yep, because I think we talked about LeBron.
Because it was the semis. It was the Eastern and Western.
Yeah, it would have been probably yeah.
Yeah, because I brought up Houston, that I wanted Houston to win, and that didn't go so well.
No, I didn't. I ended up, I did make some decent money.
Because you bet on the Golden State Warriors, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I bet on the Warriors to win. Basically, right when Curry got hurt in March or whatever it was, and for the entire all year they've been obviously the favorite. Where they're giving, if you gamble at all, it was minus 125. So if you bet $100, you'd win get your $100 back plus $75.
Okay.
So you're not getting equal odds. But then when Curry got hurt, people were concerned that they weren't playing that well, and they went up to plus 120. So
Jesus.
So I don't know what I put down. I got them because I bet them to win it all, and then I also did a parlay, which is basically you have two bets at the same time. You put them together, you get your juices higher on the payout, but obviously you have to win both bets to get it. So the one I did was for the Cavs and the Warriors to both make the finals. So I wasn't going to bet against LeBron, even though obviously I wanted the Raptors. I think at the time the Cavs were the third best odds in the East to win the East. Jesus. So I put Cavs and Warriors to make the finals. That one obviously paid out, and then for the Warriors too. So obviously I wanted LeBron to win.
Yeah, me too.
But I was fine with the money.
Yeah. Money talks, right? But and that was who did they get swept?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well,
they should have won.
Should have won at least game one until the J.R. Smith moment.
That was pretty annoying. But the Instagram, Twitter, and stuff was hilarious after that happened. It was hilarious, just all the memes.
Could also say, on your very first podcast, you mentioned that you didn't like sports that much, and you didn't want to talk about sports in the pod.
I talk about sports all the time.
And now you talk about sports. You had a live World Cup.
Didn't I? I said, I know. I said that I don't know most, I don't know stats or anything.
Yeah.
I like watching sports, but don't ask me anything about what's his plus minus. I don't know what that even means. But we're not going down that road. The Capitals won the Stanley Cup, which is good.
Great to see Ovi get the first one there.
Yeah, and he's boozing now, nonstop.
I feel like the guy's always boozing.
Yeah, he looks like he could handle his alcohol.
Just a giant Russian machine.
Yeah, and
born with vodka in the veins.
Did he actually have to give back the Stanley Cup? I saw something on.
You're only supposed to get it for the team was celebrating with it for the first however many days.
Yeah, and
then each player and coach or management gets it for a day.
Okay.
So take it back to your hometown,
And is there quite a bit of Russians on the Capitals, or is it just Ovi and a couple other people?
Probably three or four. That's off.
Yeah.
Well, at least him. So two.
Okay, so there's two at least, and
we'll go 2.5. We'll see what the over under on Russian Caps players are. But
I'm happy for the Capitals and Ovechkin.
It was finally good to see him.
win the
Him
Stanley
get one,
Cup. Yeah. And World Cup just happened. France won.
Yep. I won money on that too.
Yeah, you bet it on France. Okay. I didn't gamble on anything. It was nice to see like Croatia in the final. I found
It was a really fun World Cup in a lot of ways. Like there was a lot of great games.
Yeah.
You got a lot of goals in injury time, and a lot went to the penalties and stuff like that. But Germany gets knocked out early. Spain gets knocked out early.
Yeah.
Argentina. So I was cheering for England.
Yeah. I cheered for Germany, and that didn't work out too well.
I know a few people disappointed that way.
Yeah, it was bad, man. Like they did not play well at all.
No,
like awful.
I know the first game, they're just watching like this team does not look good. But like I'm not like a football expert.
No, me
but
neither.
even if you're watching like if they're just playing like sloppy and they're like, what are they doing? And that's kind of what Germany, which is obviously known for, a powerhouse of.
Yeah.
Like half their team plays for Bayern Munich altogether, so they know each other. They play well in a system together.
And the last World Cup, they beat Brazil, who is also a powerhouse, 7-1. Which
in the semis.
Was that the semis?
Yeah, the semis, and then they beat Argentina.
My bad, because the last couple podcasts I said they won by that. Oh well.
Well, they did win, but they didn't beat Brazil. But that was That was the semis, and then they beat Argentina.
But especially in Brazil, right? Like that.
It was in Brazil, yeah.
Like that's fucking terrifying for the Brazil team. Like
yeah,
I heard, like
they got shit on, like at home.
But oh well. And so a lot of things have changed in the sporting world, and big news for Toronto and San Antonio with that big trade that just happened.
Yes, are you like technically, do you claim San Antonio citizenship?
See, this is weird because I'm
San Antonian.
I'm going to San Antonio tomorrow, and
do you want to borrow my DeRozan jersey to go down there?
I'm following DeRozan, I guess. I don't know if he's there already, but he might be.
Probably in LA.
Yeah,
Compton training.
Yeah, hanging out in Compton, but because Emma's down there, 2 more days left to work, and then that's it. And I asked her about it. And I'm like, well, how are people like taking the fact that Leonard's gone? And she's like, a lot of people are pissed off, but they're also excited that they have DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
So, because like basketball's the biggest thing there, right?
Yeah, they're only pro team. Like I think football and baseball always talked about going there, but it's always been like more just a threat to the current city they're in will build them a stadium or something like that. Yeah. But
because the AT&T Center, I think, something like that. It's outside of town. It's not downtown San Antonio.
No, it's like the Ottawa's.
Yeah, I know.
It's just a giant parking lot around it.
And you know what's funny? San Antonio has a stadium downtown, but it's only for rodeos.
Of course.
Because San Antonio has the biggest indoor rodeo in the world, and it's only for rodeos. For bull riding.
What is the record? What like capacity? Like
I don't know. I think 50,000.
Like the Rogers Center.
Yeah.
Bull riding.
Yeah, like bull riding and like the lassoing. I don't know, all those rodeo games. And Emma was talking about how like bull riders make a good chunk of change.
They always got the sponsors, like they're like NASCAR drivers that they're sponsors all over their like I don't know.
Their suit or
chaps.
Yeah. Like Wrangler
cowboy suits.
DeWalt and stuff. And so
Budweiser.
I looked up some of the salaries, and some of these guys are making like $3 million a year.
Jesus.
I know. But like 8 seconds is like a perfect ride. And then if you fall off of that, it's like whoever has I don't know how it really works.
You ever done like a mechanical bull before?
No, it terrifies me. I don't want to go on something like that. Have you?
No, I thought about like the one bar on the Rock and Horse I think has one, but they like I always thought like it would be like 8 seconds, 10 seconds because they're supposed to make you fall off. But they would have these people on there for like 30 seconds at a time just spinning around. I'm like, this doesn't seem.
But it's a young man sport. Like I think the average age is like 25 to 28.
Well.
Because you're on a fucking live animal, like.
Well, yeah, you're getting kicked and like I'm sure like the amount of injuries and stuff. Like think about like a football career. How long does that last? You're not getting kicked by a 600-pound bull.
I know.
Take that's the sternum.
And some of these guys they're like, oh, don't be a bitch, don't wear a helmet, just wear a cowboy hat. Well, yeah, fly off, get hit in the head by a.
What sponsor would be like? Just like DeWalt is giving you like $100,000 to wear this like suit, and then your head explodes. All over the DeWalt logo.
But they love it down there. But I I don't know. It would be. I
I
guess
think
it
it'd
would
be fun to go to.
It'd be
Check it out.
Yeah, it'd be fun to go to. Have a couple beers in the
Would
stands.
you go to a bullfight?
Would I go to a bullfight in Spain or
Yeah.
Mexico? Or, not really. I don't know.
I don't know if I want to see the bull get slapped. I want to do the running with the bulls.
I don't want to do that.
Like,
Bulls terrify me, man.
Yeah, but I'll make sure to do the front of the pack. Like I'm not letting some, I'm not gonna, there's a slow guy on the sidewalk. So, oh, I'm gored.
But I don't know what is that like. Is bull fighting like a sport or is it just a show?
It's considered a sport. Like I don't know what it is anymore. Like pretty much all my very, very, very limited bullfighting knowledge is from reading like different Hemingway books because he did a lot of things on like bullfighting.
Okay.
And he had one like a fictional story about it, stuff like that. Fiesta, but then he also had one Death in the Afternoon, which is just basically like his live account of like bullfighting and stuff like that. So it is like an actual sport. These people are revered as great athletes, or they were.
Yeah.
But I'm sure like PETA and other people have looked at it and said, you're just slaughtering bulls.
Yeah. Which we could use to produce more cattle and make more money. I don't know. I guess it's entertaining for people that are into it, but
yeah.
I just like bull riding seems intense and all that bullshit. I don't know.
Really?
What's with bulls always in the sporting events and stuff? It's just one of those animals you want to hang out with.
I think it came from like, some guy's like, well, we can't kill it anymore. Let's try riding it for entertainment.
And it got big. Fuck, they got a bunch of rodeos all over the world.
Well, it's like
now.
there's the bull ride and there's like the bucking broncos.
That's like the same thing, but with a horse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it would hurt, but you don't get stabbed by it.
And then you got the one with the lasso, and then I don't know, a bunch of other shit. And yeah. So I guess that's it about sports. What else?
We started the tangent of talking about the Kawhi trade.
Yeah.
Ended up with bullfighting.
Yeah. So like that trade, that's big news for Toronto.
Like there's been being here and listening to like the sports talk radio and stuff like that. Some people are obviously upset. Like I love DeRozan. He's my favorite Raptor ever. You go to my office around the corner, you'll see my DeRozan jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
there needed to be a change.
This team wasn't going to win a championship. With the core that it had. We knew this. Even if they were somehow got to the finals, they would get crushed by Golden State or the Rockets.
Yeah.
In the current state. So what is the point? Why do we cheer? Why do we watch sport? It's for the chance to win
something.
A championship.
Championship, exactly.
So they went out and got, when healthy, the second or third best player in the NBA, which as a Raptors fan, it's like you never think about getting a guy that could. Like DeRozan's obviously a very good player, but where would he be if you were ranking the best players in the NBA? He's probably maybe the third or fourth best shooting guard in the behind Harden and Klay Thompson and whatever. But as an overall player, maybe top 25, maybe not. Like that might even be a stretch, but you're not going to win a championship. But if your best player is the top, 20 to 25 guy, you win a championship when your best players are top 5 guys.
Yeah, exactly. And so they made a big move, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm excited. If Kawhi is healthy, he instantly becomes the best player to ever wear a Raptors jersey.
Okay.
So
what? He plays the same position as DeRozan, or is it he's
he's
forward
more of a small forward?
Okay.
So but with guys like OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry still there, Fred VanVleet, DeLon Wright, they can get really creative because obviously they can go smaller. Kawhi can play at the 3, can play at the 4,
right?
And he's he can contribute, like he can pass well, but he's also a very good shooter. Like every time about DeRozan's mid-range game, and he's like a 37% shooter from like mid-range. So from the basket to like 18 feet out, whatever how they count mid-range. DeRozan's like a 37%, which was good. But like the last year Kawhi was like fully healthy, he shot like 49% from the mid-range. And then from 3-point, he's like a career shooter like 39% from the 3. Which is obviously very good as well. And he's the best perimeter defender in the NBA, probably maybe the second best perimeter defender of all times behind like Scottie Pippen.
Jesus.
So they made a move.
Yeah.
They traded an icon, but they gave us a chance to get to the finals.
Yeah.
And
See what happens.
yeah, so
9 years for DeRozan, or was it 10?
9 years, I think, this year.
Yeah. Fuck, that's a long time, but things have to change.
Yeah, so
big moves.
Full respect to DeRozan, love him, but
he's with a really good coach.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens with him with the Spurs.
They did send him to the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah. And I think Pop is pretty pumped to have someone like that. And do you think that guy's ever going to retire?
I think so. There's the rumors are basically the next 2 years.
Yeah.
But then he's going to coach the USA basketball team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I do that every 4 years.
Yeah.
Because Coach K for Duke did it for the last
forever, right?
4 or 5 Olympics. Yeah. And
he's never going to leave Duke. Do you think, Coach K?
When he dies.
Because I think he's making good money with them.
Probably making like $12 million a year, something like that.
Fuck, man.
The players don't get paid,
but he does. Yeah. No, I'm excited for the Toronto Raptors, and I'm pretty pumped. And there was another big signing in Toronto. Obviously, you're not a Leafs fan, but
No.
Tavares is coming to town.
Yeah.
Well, he's already here, but
he's
you
here.
know
Yeah,
what I
he
mean?
signed here. Some of it yet.
But what do you think I know it's a little sensitive you talking about the Leafs, but because you don't really like them, but
no, my hate for the Leafs and stuff like that has changed over the years. Before, when I was a kid, it was, I didn't like Matt Sundin and Brian McCabe and all of those guys and Pat Quinn. I just didn't like the way they played. I didn't like their style and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I was living not in Toronto but around Toronto. I was just the Leaf media.
That's all you see, right?
Yeah. So that just got annoying and stuff like that. So now it's I understand Matthews and Marner, and obviously I love Babcock. I'm a Red Wing fan, so I love Babcock and Shanahan.
Yeah.
And I like Dubas. I like right now I like the organization. It's the same organization that owns TFC and the Raptors, who I love.
Yeah, you love those.
And so I think it's a great move for them. I think they're obviously going to be a very good team for it. Probably might have the best center depth in the NHL right now.
Jesus.
But we'll see. I still think Tampa's a better team. Boston's probably close.
Yeah.
In the East at least. And then, if Pittsburgh's healthy, Crosby, Malkin, or Kessel, they're always going to be competitive too.
For me, the thing is when it comes to changes that happen with the Leafs are the social media presence and the media, obviously, and just the fans. It just seems like they're already crowning the Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
that's the thing that really gets me annoyed about Leafs fans.
Yeah, not to be FA possible clients, but with Leaf fans, there definitely is the idea that kind of crowning us, crowning them on stuff already.
Yeah,
and just the idea that Leafs are bigger than anything. I think it was Darren Jagger for TSN tweeted out right before, the NBA. I think it was after. Maybe it was before JT even signed with the Leafs. Mm-hmm. But it was he tweeted out, "Big discussion in the newsroom tonight. What would be a bigger deal, Tavares joining the Leafs or LeBron joining the Raptors?" And it's this isn't even a debate. Who was on the argument of Tavares to the Leafs?
Yeah.
And just that is this is Leafs media in Toronto, at least, in a nutshell. It's the idea that would even be a debate. The greatest or second greatest player in the history of the NBA and history of basketball, who is still the best player in the world right now.
Yes.
Coming to the Raptors, instantly making us the number one. We're going to the finals. Basically, would be the story, or a center who's probably, I'd say definitely probably top 10 at his position.
Uh-huh.
And he's a hockey player coming to the Leafs, which is already obviously
who's from the area.
Yeah, he's from the area, but a top 10 center, not even a top 10 hockey player, coming to Toronto, or the best basketball player of all time, second best basketball player of all time,
biggest player in the world right now,
coming to Toronto.
Yeah, that's not a debate.
It's not even close. And if you look from the grand scheme of things, basketball just trounces hockey.
Yeah.
worldwide for media and interest. Celebrities though are getting some notifications.
I forgot to turn it off. Oh well. But no, we'll see what happens with the Leafs too, what was I gonna say? What are the Red Wings doing?
They're rebuilding. They need to rebuild. Like they're supposed to be rebuilding, but then they went out like at Ken Holland's like season-ending press conference. He was like, "We're gonna get younger," and then at July 1st, he signs like 3 guys over the age of 30. Oh, so I'm not really, they're
but that's like that, like for like the grand scheme of things. Like, where do you rank like the Red Wings and your favorite teams?
Favorite teams, like growing up, hockey was obviously number one.
But over the years,
like I discovered more of a love for baseball and basketball, and obviously the Red Wings not being good right now probably plays into that.
Mm-hmm.
But as a whole, my interest in hockey has dropped off. Like football. So like the Patriots and the Jays are probably number one.
Okay.
Patriots being like 1B maybe.
So they're like tied.
Yeah, more or less. Like if it came down to like who I'd rather see win a championship, Jays, no questions asked. Obviously, I've seen the Pats win Super Bowls, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But Jays would be like, they obviously are my hometown team. I've loved them since I was
a wee lad.
Well, I have pictures of like me and my dad like matching Jays t-shirts when I was like 3 years old and stuff like that. So yeah, right. Jays, Patriots, Raptors, and then like the Red Wings and Tottenham are probably right there, and like then TFC as well, but also just like league plays into it as well, like prestige of the league and stuff like that too. So,
oh man, fuck. We'll see what happens. I haven't been to the Rogers Center in so long. Like I haven't been to a game.
I've been to 1, maybe 2 games this year. No.
I haven't been in like years, man. Like 3 years. Like, and I was up in the nosebleed section. I miss going to Jays games, and I got some time now.
You're just a bum.
I am a bum right now.
But actually, no. Congratulations to you on making that move.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's not easy being in a situation where you were in a pretty good spot, even though for someone being 27 or whatever in today's world, saying you know what, I'm making good money, I have benefits, all of this, I'm gonna walk away from it, just take take a leap of faith.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you're gonna do great. Back to school.
It's gonna be interesting because I got my class schedule the other day, and I don't have classes on Wednesdays. But I feel like we have because I got in contact with somebody from the radio, the campus radio, and I feel like we have to do something on that day. So it's not like technically a day off. So we're doing like field work or something. So I'm pretty pumped about it, but like I still trying to find a part-time job because I don't want to be a complete bum.
Yeah.
I need to work, man. I need to make
time.
And I'm not going to put all the responsibility on Emma because like, A, she won't let that happen, and B, she'll just be like, "You're a bum." Like she'll call me out on it. Like she will, and I'm like, that's what I need. Like I need like something that's like 20 hours a week or something that.
Fill a couple days and time. There's also just help. It's good to have some cash flow.
Yeah, it does. It will help, and we'll see what happens. And
how long is the program? 2 years.
2-year program. Yeah, and I'm excited. Like the London, I didn't realize this, man. It's like. I've said this before, but like it's almost 400,000 people.
How many that's like students though? Like Western's like what?
It's a big
50,000, 80,000, something like that.
I think it's bigger than Aurelia. That for sure.
I think it's the biggest or second biggest campus. Like,
well, like U of T is pretty big.
I think U of T is the biggest, and I think Western's number 2.
Fuck, because like when I went down there, I was looking at places, and I went to one spot, and I was like, "Oh, where's Western University?" And the girl showing me the apartment is like, it's 2 minutes away. You can see it out your balcony.
It's everywhere.
And then she's trying to tell me that like, oh yeah, we have a strict like no party policy. I'm like, you're telling me that no one parties here, but I can see the university on my balcony? That is bullshit. I know for a fact.
You're not in like a campus residence, are you?
Me, no. Emma and I have our own place.
So the apartment has a no party policy?
Not the one I'm on.
Oh,
okay. It's a brand new building. And they were trying to fill it up, and I went there, and I got an apartment and everything, and now they increased it. Because I went, like Emma didn't see it, and then she was in Canada for a couple days, and I went down to where she lives. We went to London, and she saw the place, and the guy told us they increased the rent by $400
A month?
a month. Yeah, or 300.
Did you already sign the lease?
Already signed the lease. Everything was done.
Don't think they can do that.
I don't know.
We'll talk about that off there.
Not for me. Not for mine.
Oh, okay.
For people that haven't signed it yet.
Yeah,
like I already signed the lease and everything.
That's fine.
Yeah, but like, no, I would have freaked out. Like, no, fuck this shit. Like,
like people try to do that stuff like that. Like, that's the problem. Like, you get majority of landlords, in my experience, are pretty good people. You know, they're whether it's like a mom and pop basically shop, like they own maybe one property, two properties as an investment to either help with the future, like retirement, stuff like that. And they respect the tenants completely as long as the tenants, respect them and stuff like that. And I think that's the majority of landlords out there. The problem is, like anything, you have a couple bad apples, a couple bad ones that try to take advantage of the situation, try to basically fuck over their tenants.
Yeah.
And then that's the picture that gets painted. And that's how policies get changed in the government, at the landlord tenant board, and all of that.
As you can tell, Trent is a real estate agent. And this is something I actually wanted to talk about, was like, because business is booming in Toronto, it seems like.
Yeah.
And you're strictly GTA? It doesn't matter, right? You can.
I can go anywhere in Toronto, like in Ontario. I obviously try to stick to where I have, like, my expertise and stuff are. Yeah. Like, I've done stuff in Mississauga. I've done stuff a little bit farther north. I've, all the way out through Durham, Oshawa, Bowmanville, stuff like that. But the core of my business is Toronto, Scarborough, North York. Okay. That area there.
Because the last time I was here, we were driving to see one of our buddies, and you had a comment saying, like, oh, look at all these towers about to pop up. And it's true. Like, you've lived in this apartment for how much? Like
4 years, September.
4 years, and I see like new condo buildings every day, and that's just the way Toronto's going. Everything is going up or down. Well, there's tunnels, and then there's fucking high rises.
Yeah, the city's, people are moving here. It's obviously an incredible. I think it's ranked in the number one place in the world to live, like number one city, stuff like that. I mean, us in Stockholm or something like that, whatever it was. But so like it is. You get a lot of development, and there's pros and cons of that. Obviously, people don't want to see like where I am here. You see some smaller buildings, older buildings going away, and high rises coming up. So what was probably once a little bit quieter of an area is developing. But at the same time, when people are upset about rent prices the way they are, or affordability for purchasing a home the way it is, it comes down to that supply and demand. So right now we still have a lot of people like you, people like me, people that didn't grow up in Toronto, moving here from small towns or other parts of Ontario and Canada because of the opportunities here. And at the same time, we get all the immigration coming here too. We have immigrants want to come to Toronto because it's an amazing place to live. They want to come to Canada because we have a stable economy. We have obviously a good government, good human. It's just an amazing country in general. And then we also have and you have a pro immigration government too, because we want to get more people into the country, and the majority of those people will come to the GTA. Yep. So we already lack supply of people that are here, so developers have to keep building more and keep selling and so on and so forth.
Do you deal with a lot of first-time buyers?
Yeah, obviously being a younger person myself, I do get a lot of, I'd say probably 50% of my business is first-time buyers.
And it can be pretty. Is it difficult because I haven't bought a house or a condo or anything? It's a difficult process to buy a house for the first time.
It's not necessarily a difficult process. There's definitely some, myths and stuff like that out there about the buying process or being a first time buyer. Okay. The biggest issue, obviously, like if we just want to keep using Toronto as our sample here, price is obviously the biggest thing. That's what makes it most difficult. So how are you going to get that down payment? Because even if people say it's a single person or it's a couple and they have the money to get approved for the mortgage, it comes down to, do they have the down payment?
And what's the percentage of a down payment? What's that percentage?
Minimum you're going to need is basically 5%.
Okay.
Now, if you're under 20%, you're going to have to carry some mortgage insurance as well, which not really boosts up your, it's not significant, but it's still extra money you got to take on there. Because the bank's lending you more money. If you're only putting 5% down, the bank's giving you 95%. They want some extra, assurance there. If you lost your job or if you lost, if you were to die or something like that, just you cover more. So you got to pay some mortgage insurance on there.
Okay.
So one of the biggest problems or things I come up with first people that are kind of interested in the buying process is their time. They're like, I want to wait, it's maybe 6 more months, 8 more months, a year. I got to save up more money for my down payment, and which is fine. Saving for a down payment is good. It's a responsible thing to do. But at the same time, it only makes sense if you're saving faster than the market's going up.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because if you're at, if you have at basically 5% today, and your goal is to get to 20%, well, how long did it take you to save 5%? How long is it going to take you to get to that 20%?
That's
if
true.
you're buying a,
because prices are always going up,
exactly.
right?
If you're buying a $500,000 condo, 20% is $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
How long is it going to take you to save that $100,000? But if you already have the 5%, then you might as well. Cause if you're not saving faster than the market's going up, you're always going to be playing catch up. You're always going to be going from behind, which means your buyability, because the bank's going to approve you on your mortgage based on your income and stuff like that. Your down payment's obviously going to help that, but mostly it's going to come down to what is your income. So if your income's also not going up with the market, your buyability. If you were approved for $500,000 last year, all right, you could probably get downtown Toronto a 1-bedroom condo with a den, maybe some parking, and maybe a large one too, maybe even a 2-bedroom. Now this year, that same $500,000 that you're approved for, 1 in a den, maybe parking. Fuck. So that's the biggest thing. And then obviously you have to look at it from what are rental rates right now.
Oh yeah. So with all the towers and everything, do you still get like regular houses, like suburbia houses or anything like that? Like, you know what I'm talking, like people wanting to sell or buy?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And that's not obviously like directly in the city. Like you have to go to like Richmond Hill
Richmond Hill, Scarborough, North York.
Okay.
Different parts of, Oakville, Etobicoke, stuff like that, obviously as well. The thing with people usually looking to buy those places, not generally our first-time buyers, they're move-up buyers.
Right.
If I'm from Coburg, you're from Aurelia, we have friends that are buying, and they buy, especially if they're a couple, they buy that first house.
Yeah.
And they look at that house as their forever home. We're gonna live here, we're gonna have our kids here.
Yeah.
In Toronto, that doesn't really work. You buy a condo or a condo townhouse, and then you let that with the goal of saying we're gonna be here for 2 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. And then at 2 years, you reevaluate what you want to do.
And then you move on.
At 4 years, you reevaluate. And at 5 years. And if the goal is, okay, we're going to buy here because we're married, we're young, whatever. And then we're going, we might have the kids. We might want to get the bigger house. Then you reevaluate and you look to either sell that condo and use the money, the equity that you've gotten that because you've paid off some mortgage. You've also, that property's got enough value in that time to buy the next place. Or if you've been in a good enough situation where you can then say, all right, this property's gone up by, $100,000 in value in the last 5 years. We're going to take our down payment. We're going to take all the equity we have in this property.
Yeah.
We're going to leverage that equity. We're not going to sell this one. We're going to leverage that equity and buy another property and rent this one out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess.
Because in the long run, you're buying property, you own property in Toronto. Mm-hmm. There will be ups and downs in the market, but
the market's pretty stable though in Toronto, is it not?
Yeah. The market it's an interesting time. The market is very neighborhood driven right now. There are places, if you go up to like in the York region, houses are going to be aren't selling as quickly up there. Anything under, these numbers might sound high to a lot of people, but they're very kind of standard.
Standard. Yeah.
Anything under 1.5 million that is listed well, that is priced well, basically kind of at market value, they're selling. Things over that are the ones taking their time to move. They're on the market longer, and there's a big inventory of those properties because they built up as things haven't been selling. But if you go to a place like the beaches,
Where is the like just like on the waterfront or?
Yeah, waterfront. So like east of the DVP, down there.
Okay.
By the beaches.
Makes sense.
There, if you have a place and you put it on the market, it's gone like that.
Because everybody wants that location.
Multiple offers, and these are $3-4 million properties.
Because it's right on the water, right?
It's right on the water. These, near the water in that area. It's a nice little community. There's transit there. You're not too far from the downtown, but you can also get off out Scarborough, get north if you have to. But generally speaking, it's on a larger old Victorian style homes, so they're very desirable, and there's also a very limited number of them.
Did they not reamp that area too recently?
There's been constant development and stuff through there, right? Like gentrification and things happen.
Oh, okay.
People move in, and the prices go up, right? As older people have lived there for a long time, they're selling off their properties. Younger families are moving in that have money, and they want different things. They want things that whether it's the Starbucks or the restaurants or whatever. It grows. The beach is an absolutely beautiful area, yeah, and that's why properties go. So real estate in Toronto right now is very, very neighborhood driven, but as a whole, it's still, especially the condo market has stayed, even during the downturn of last April when the government put in those different the regulations and stuff like that, the foreign buyers tax. January 1st, Bank of Canada brought in the stress test. That affected kind of the large purchases, but that actually increased and made the condo market even hotter.
Okay, so what's like an average like just say I wanted to go out and get a single bedroom condo, if that even exists.
Yep.
How much would that would like
Once
run
again,
me?
it's going to be based on where you are.
Where you are, yeah. Okay.
So when you're buying a condo, you basically look at it as a price per square foot. So the square foot of the unit. So if we're downtown Toronto, we're probably looking at anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a square foot.
Okay.
So then obviously multiply by that 500 square foot condo. Do your math on there.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
If you're up in, say, one person I'm helping out right now, it's kind of offers going back and forth at like Lawrence and Dufferin. There's one building there, the Treviso condominiums. It's about $720 a square foot on average right now. Okay. Yonge and Eglinton, where we're at right now, for the newer buildings, probably about $1,000 a square foot.
Okay.
So
because they do, like, looking out your window, they do look pretty fucking nice.
Yeah.
The ones
the new ones you see that are going up.
Yeah.
Those ones are all sold before there's even a shovel on the ground.
That's true.
At least 70% of the units are sold because that's how the builder gets their financing, and then the bank says, okay, you've sold 70% of these units. You can start building. Here's the money to go build. Right. And then the seller might sell some afterwards.
How long did it take you to become a real estate agent? Just like did you have to go to like college or something for it, or what? Like
you have to do courses that, like, technically I guess it's labeled as college. The Ontario Real Estate Association, the OREA, has one. Okay. And it's like basically the real estate college, Ontario College of Real Estate or whatever it is. CREO, OREA, all the different acronyms. But yeah, so it's. When I signed up, it was you had 18 months to do the 3 courses, and then after you had a year to get hired, and then after that 1 year, you had 2 years to complete 2 more. But then I think 3 months after I started, I started the courses, they changed it. I signed up in February, and in April they changed it, where you had to do all 5 in the first 18 months.
Oh, wow.
So it made it a little more difficult for people.
Is it an expensive, like, to do it? Like, I'm just curious.
Generally speaking, no, it's not expensive for the course. Each course is probably like $500.
Okay, in the long run, especially if you're going to do that full time.
Yeah, like the courses are nothing more, just like any other education course, stuff like that. It's money you pay. Then you obviously, if you're going to do this as a job, as a career, you're going to hopefully make that money back. Other expenses that go into, like, there's obviously a lot of money you pay when you sign up. I joined Remax Hallmark, which is the number 1 Remax brand. Canada is the largest Remax brand in the world.
Is that right? Oh,
and their fees are generally are higher than some other brokerages. But with that, I also get things like a lot more training and stuff like that as well. So always constantly trying to learn more.
So there's a lot more experience at your office.
Yeah. Okay. Like our agents on average make more money, do more sales. Our brokerages do more sales on average than a lot of other brokerages. And with that, also you have people there that have been in this business for anywhere from, just starting out to 30, 40 plus years experience.
Jesus.
So yeah, you have that, if you need a question, because you're always going to find something in real estate, whether it's a clause in a contract or a weird situation that comes up that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
So, but if you have an office that big with that many resources, probably someone there has had that issue before. So.
That's true. You got a lot of your own expenses too, right? Obviously, you pay a lot in gas, or because you're using your own car.
You're self-employed, so
self-employed,
you have your experience of your gas, your
like you got to get your own business cards and
I joined a team, and so the team was able to help me out with a lot of that.
Yeah.
The benefit of joining the team is obviously what's been a great working experience as part of a team. Same thing, because you have all those questions when you're starting out.
Yeah.
The courses don't really teach you much. They don't.
They just teach you the real estate. They don't teach you everything else, right?
Yeah, like when you leave the course, you don't really know how to do an offer.
Oh,
okay. Which seems like a pretty important piece.
That kind of does, yeah.
So I joined a team, and but like if you're doing it on your own, any marketing materials, that's gonna be your expense. You want to buy a laptop, you gotta buy your clothes, you gotta buy, then you gotta pay fees to the brokerage to work there, desk fees and stuff like that. Your gas, your cell phone, it adds
everything.
up.
It does add up. Like a suit alone, it can be like $1,000 or more.
Yeah.
Fuck. Do you have anybody that does it part time? Because
you get a lot of agents that do it part time.
How does that work? Like you just
a lot of people sign up. As I said, it's not difficult to become an agent.
Okay.
So a lot of people sign up, and the average agent. So the average agent does less than one transaction a year.
Okay.
So I don't know what the number. I think the number, and there's like 50,000 agents in Ontario alone.
Okay.
And so a lot of those are doing that, because you have obviously agents that are doing 100 deals a year.
Mm-hmm.
Then if the average one is doing less than one, there's obviously a bunch of agents that have a license that are paying fees that have never done a transaction, or never doing a transaction.
Holy shit.
So
you have yearly fees.
You have yearly fees to the Toronto Real Estate Board, which I'm a member of, the Ontario Real Estate Board, RECO, which is like the Real Estate Council of Ontario, which is like you have insurance through them, and they're also like the disciplinary board if you screw up or stuff like that too.
Jeez, everybody has their hand in your pocket. Eh?
Remax takes like Remax Integra, which is like Remax as a whole.
Uh-huh.
Like they take like $500 a year for marketing costs. Then obviously I'm paying Remax Hallmark money as well every single month.
It just seems like such a cutthroat industry. Like you could just have like this guy like interested for months, and then he just says, you know what, fuck it.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Oh man, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't fucking do it, man. Like it just like I like working that hard, and then just to have somebody be like, you know what, this is not for me, and then just move on. That would be bullshit.
No, it does happen. But at this, like, it's any sales business, any business where you're working with clients and building, it's a numbers game.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
the simple idea when I first started, one of the managers, the idea was like, if you do the work properly and you do the right thing over and over again, even if it's not working out, there will be a tipping point, and it will, you will build. And I've started to see that where I'm getting referrals from clients, even people that I wasn't able maybe to help them. They've passed along friends or family to me as well. So that's good. Yeah, like it's, when you have someone giving you someone to help, opposed to you going to find one your own, it makes life a lot easier. You
do help out with people with like trying to like sign a lease too, right? But there's not that much money. Like what's the money in that?
No, basically the money you get off a lease is basically half a month's rent, and then half that month is you split that with your team. You split that with Remax takes part of it. So
at the end of it, it's
whenever I have a client who's like, I'm helping with the lease, I basically okay, I'm not really making no money off this at all. Mm-hmm. But when you buy that $1 million property, I'm gonna help you with that.
Exactly.
And then people will go like, okay, yeah, whatever. But then
because they'll always have you in the back of their head, right?
Yeah, like and we as a team, we've built our business basically, repeat and referrals. So stay in touch. We do, personal notes we write. We do dinners and events and stuff like that. So we always stay in touch with our clients. They become like the friends, the family. That sounds corny. I know, but it's true.
What's your favorite like area of Toronto to show people around or like sell? Obviously you said the beaches is great, but like besides that, what's your favorite? Like
there's buildings I like more than other buildings. Like, majority of mine is condos that I do.
Okay.
And there definitely are buildings I like. I like more. Like obviously I live here at Yonge and Eglinton. I love Yonge and Egg. I think it's an awesome place.
It's beautiful here
to live. Because we're close enough, you can get downtown in 15 minutes on the subway, or like a $20 Uber ride, or you can get out of the city quickly and stuff as well.
Yeah, the highway's just right there.
My office is at Bayview Village. It's another area I like a lot as well. So, don't really have any favorite or least favorite place to work. But when you're in enough buildings, you start seeing buildings you like and buildings you don't like and buildings you wouldn't recommend to a client, and some buildings you like because you know about issues in them and stuff like that. So
like on like just say like there's a client, he's just like calls you, he's just like, hey Trent, I'm looking for a condo in this area, and then you just like, oh, I got like 5 I can show you, or what?
No, as an agent you have access to
as many as you can,
anything that's on MLS, so the multiple listing services. So basically out there. One benefit that I have of working at Remax Hallmark, the size it is because we have like 1,400 agents. We get a lot of properties that never make it to the MLS. They're exclusive properties. We get listed. We always say we can send it to our networking group. I'm looking for this, this, and this. I don't see it in MLS. Let me know if you have it. Or I have this property coming up in a week. It's not going to be on the MLS yet. Let me know if you're interested. We can arrange like a private viewing. So. Yeah, if it's out on MLS, we can show it. If it's exclusive, we can show it as well.
Well, that's good. Fuck, that's good. That's good to know, especially when like things are like with my life. Obviously, a little bit of a left turn, but I'm not going to be making good money in a while. But like obviously, like eventually down the road, I will be looking for something to own because I'm getting sick of renting.
Yeah,
but like that will be. What's like the average age? You got someone like a new buyer, like 25 to
probably in the 30s, stuff like that. Late 20s, early 30s for the first time buyers. But yeah, it's the same thing, right? Like you're looking at if people have saved the money depending on where they're looking, your rent versus what it would cost you to own a condo. When you own a condo, we look at what's called your carrying costs. It's your mortgage payments, your maintenance fees, your taxes, and basically your insurance. What does it cost you on a month-to-month basis to own this unit? Which is the same as your rent's all-inclusive. This is the same thing, just as multiple payments. Yeah. In a lot of cases, the rent is very similar to the purchase price. Like not the purchase price, like your carrying costs. It might be $100, $200 difference, but in the end, on a year-to-year basis, your rent's going to go up by basically 2% a year. On average, your owning your cost is going to go down by 4%.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. And condo fees, what's like, are they expensive in Toronto? It depends.
Condo fees, doesn't matter if it's Toronto or anywhere. Condo fees are based on what it costs to basically operate the condo. So it's your amenities, your security. Depending on what's included, is your heat, is your water, electricity included. And from there, and then they're going to be based on a square footage basis, like 50 cents, 40 cents a square foot. In an older building, it's probably going to be because older buildings are, less efficient for energy, and they generally are going to cost more to maintain. Yeah, they could be entering 80 cents a square foot. And we see the condos with really high maintenance fees, their purchase price are going to be a lot less.
Oh fuck! Okay. So much information, Trent.
That's when we move on from that.
But no, it's good. This is good because like I just feel like a lot of people don't know much about like it would be okay for this like you always see commercials about this, like it would be crazy not to use a real estate agent. Like in my opinion, it just seems like do you have people that do it on their own and then all of a sudden it's like a complete fuck up? We
have had people whether they're trying to sell or trying to buy and do it on their own, and if it works out for them, awesome. More power to you.
But more times than not.
But more times, you're going to be listed because just from legal clauses, stuff like that, or what have you, you may not know about certain things. Exactly. When from the point that say an offer is accepted to the point that the buyer gets the keys, a million things can go sideways, there are fires start. And our job behind the scenes is to basically put out all those fires, take care of all that without the buyer or the seller really ever knowing. Lawyers take care of it, agents take care of it, and go from there. So,
because I don't know, it just seems like doing it on your own it could be a nightmare. Because like you just explained a bunch of stuff, and like I didn't know most of it. Like so, like I wouldn't go in. Like I wouldn't go all in by myself trying to find a piece of property.
If you can, awesome. But obviously, the reason myself and all those other agents that are out here is there is a market for the services. This in most people's life, this is the biggest investment people are ever going to make, or the start of many investments they're going to make over time.
Exactly.
That, take your time, get expertise. It doesn't cost a buyer anything. So
do it. Fucking do it, people. But yeah, fuck. Good to know. Lots of things. Oh, geez, it's getting cloudy out there. Fuck.
Calling for rain.
Oh well, I guess we need it. It's a little hot, but
yeah, humidity.
Fuck. I'm getting hungry though, aren't you?
A little bit.
A little bit. We could wrap this up if you want.
How long are we going for? Last time we were like an hour 10 or something like that.
Something like that. We'll find out.
We were just talking about Sopranos and falling down mine shafts last time. Oh yeah, actually, I got called out after the last podcast. People didn't realize when we were talking about Sudbury that we actually love Sudbury. People like, you were just making fun of it, and like you're making fun of the field. I'm like, no, 100%. I think that's both of us. I was there. I think did you spend 5 years there? Or did you leave right after graduation?
No, I was there for another year.
Yeah, so 5 years there, 4 years for me. Mm-hmm. Like anybody, it's obviously university town. It's great. Like a lot of it was obviously based on we made great friends in our university experience there. But in the end, I do love that city.
You haven't been back in a while, have you?
I haven't been back since almost my graduation. So it'd be 4 years, 5 years. 5 years in October. And like I keep talking about going back. And when you were up there, or Sam McLovin, Tay, but then people started slowly moving away, and we all work and have different work schedules. It has been hard. So I've wanted to do it. I do have family up there. Yeah. If you're listening, hello, how's it going? So let's clear that up. Love Sudbury. It's an amazing place, but it is obviously, like we said about, it's kind of quirky. But hey, when I came from Coburg, Sudbury was a big city to me. Like
same with me, man.
So
from Aurelia to Sudbury was a big change.
No, it was
30,000 to like 110,000.
Yeah. So Coburg, like 18,000 and whatever. So
yeah.
But it's still that's one thing about it. One of the charms about Sudbury was it did have that kind of that small town feel to it, because even though it's big, it's centralized and it's the hub for all of Northern Ontario, really. So they're all coming there. So I apologize if you were offended by our Sudbury comments. Billy, who fell down the mine shaft last time that we talked about.
No, your one comment in the last when we were talking about space, that was great. You're like, if you could,
the NASA,
if you could survive this, you could survive space. That was hilarious. But yeah, no, Sudbury's a good town. But you can. What are all your websites and stuff there? Do some plugging.
Do some plugs. All right.
Plugs.
All right. So on Twitter, which is no one really finds me funny, so we'll go with at Trent McCrory, MCCRORY. The Instagram for my work one is Trent McCrory Real Estate. Very creative name there. And then for our my real estate website is trent.tnagpal. That's NAGPAL.ca.
Wonderful. All right, folks, you can follow this podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tall Talk Podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. And if you want to see some cool photos, or just check out my personal account on Instagram at HeardTimothy90. All right, folks, thank you again, Trent.
Thank you for having me back on here.
Yeah, no worries. And can't wait to have you back on for real estate talk. All right, folks.
The sequel.
All right, folks. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.